Understand 4 different methods for solving linear systems. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we are taking up a test question based on linear systems. The question here is to solve linear system using different methods. So it's very important to use different methods in solving each one of these questions, right? Now, most students know only about 2 methods. One is method of substitution or elimination. But see, we have 4 questions here and we have to provide 4 different methods for solution. Well, the third one could be using a graph, correct? How about the fourth one? So fourth one could be reasoning. So when you get a question like this, you need to think about 4 different methods of solving these linear systems, correct? So now let's begin with their solution. As you can see, minus x minus 5y equals to 5 and minus 2x plus 5 equals to minus 1. Well, if we consider the very first equation, the set of equations or the linear system, it could be solved using any of the methods. Now, you should make a decision which method should you use for the given equation. Perfect. So, I would say for the first equation, I will use the method of graphing, right? So, graph could be a better method to use here. For the second equation, I could actually solve it without those 3 standard methods, and that method is by inspection. Now these two, we have a choice. Now for these equations, I will use substitution and elimination methods. So when the fractions are involved, it is better to use elimination method. You get the idea. So we'll go with the priorities. Fractions involved, elimination method. Substitution could have been used in any one of those, but this one, easy, right? X, we could isolate and then substitute. Here we do see it could be a case of a parallel line, so we could just justify our answer, and the very first one seems to be a simpler graph, correct? Let's begin with their solutions now, one by one. So the very first one I thought we'll do by graphing. Now how do you graph this? So we have 2 equations. First is minus x minus 5y equals to 5, correct? So let me make a rough graph paper here. Normally you will be provided with very good graph paper, but in this case, what should I do? Well, we'll just make a graph. Rough sketch. So to sketch such a line, what we should do is to find x-intercept and y-intercept. X-intercept is a point where y equals to 0. So if I substitute y 0, what do I get? I get x minus 0 equals to 5, or x is equal to minus 5, correct? Now let me find the y-intercept. So y-intercept is when x equals to 0. So when x is 0, we have minus 5y equals to 5, or y equals to minus 1. 5 divided by minus 1. So minus 1. So we have the 2 x-intercepts, 2 points. One is x-intercept of minus 5 and the y-intercept of minus 1. And that should help us to give us the line which is right here. So we sketch minus 5 and 1, right? So a line could be drawn like this. Make sense? Where this point here is minus 5, the x-intercept, and that is minus 1. So we have the first line. Let me now sketch the second line. Second line given to us is minus 2x plus y equals to minus 1. So the x-intercept is what? X-intercept is when y is 0, we can say minus 2x equals to minus 1, or x is equal to half, right? So x-intercept is half, somewhere there. And let's now find the y-intercept. So I'm changing the ink to find y-intercept. Y-intercept means x is equal to 0 and y is equal to minus 1. So that is minus 1 itself. Well, the intercept is itself a solution, right? Since that is the point of intersection of both the graphs. So we have our solution here, the point of intersection. Solution here is the y-intercept, which is 0 minus 1. Is that clear to you? So we get the first solution and we have used the method of graphing. Is that clear to you? Now let's look into the second question. Second question here is minus 7x minus y equals to 5. And the other one is 7x plus y equals to minus 1. Well, if I multiply the second equation by negative, what do you see? You see minus 7x minus y equals to plus 1. Do you see these two equations? They are similar, right? So they have the same slope, right? So from inspection, we can say that both are parallel lines with different y-intercepts, right? So we have parallel lines, right? Since the y-intercepts are different, right? Means with same slope and different y-intercept. That means we have no solution, correct? So we don't really have to solve it. We can reason it out, and so by reasoning, we have solved this particular question. You get the idea. So that becomes our second method. Third method is the method of substitution, which we had thought about. Substitution. So we have an equation which is x minus 3y equals to 12. Let's isolate x. X equals to 3y plus 12. So that becomes our equation number 1. And we are going to substitute that in our equation number 2, which is 3 times, and I'll substitute the value of x as 3y plus 12. Make sense? Minus 6y equals 24. So open the bracket. 9y plus 36 minus 6y equals to 24. Now 9y minus 6y, we'll take 36 to the other side, 24 minus 36, correct? Nine y minus 6y is 3y equals to 24 minus 36 is minus 12. So y is equal to minus 12 by 3. So we get y as minus 4. Since y is minus 4, let's call this as 3. We'll substitute this back to x equals to 3y. So 3 times minus 4 plus 12. So x is minus 12 plus 12, which is 0. So we have our solution, and the solution is 0 minus 4. Is that clear to you? 0 minus 4. Well, you can also substitute the value 0 minus 4 and check whether it works for both equations or not. Perfect. So the last equation here is the one where we are going to use the method of elimination. Okay, so first equation is given to us as 10y minus 3x minus 21 equals to 0. I'm going to rewrite this as 10y minus 3x equals to 21. Makes sense? I'll call this as my equation 1. The second one is given to us as y minus x over 5 equals to 12 over 5. Now, since there is a fraction involved, we will actually times this equation by 10 to get rid of denominator. That's first thing, right? Second, we can make the same coefficient as for the first one for y, right? So if I multiply by 10, I get 10y minus 2x equals to 24. Makes sense? Because 10 divided by 5 is 2, so 2 times 12 is 24. So we get our second equation, which is 10y minus 2x equals to 24. And now we can eliminate y. So elimination is done. We can do equation 1 minus equation 2. So if I take away the second equation from the first, y terms will cancel and we get minus 3x. We get minus 3x and this becomes plus 2x, right? Equals to 21 minus 24. Clear? So that is minus x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 3. Make sense? Now we can substitute the value of x and find the value of y, right? So you could substitute in the very first equation. So let's do it. So we have 10y minus 3 times 3, right, minus 21 equals to 0. So we have 10y minus 3 times 3 is minus 9 minus 21 equals to 0, or 10y equals to 30. And that gives you y equals to 3. Correct? So we have our solution, which is both x and y values are 3 each. Correct? So that is how we could actually solve this particular question, right? Makes sense? So you see, we have solved all the 4 equations using different techniques. Now, that was key in solving this system. Perfect? So keep in mind that if in the equation we are given that you have to use different methods, we could actually use reasoning as one of the methods to solve such questions. I hope it makes sense. In case you want to learn from me, you can always write an email on the address given. Thanks for your time and all the best.